Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in and watching this video. Today, the topic was why and how to heal and not to pass to next generations. I think that was it. I didn't wrote it down, but I believe that was it from Unseen Unset user here at YouTube. We talk about this a while back. We talk about these situations, and I want to talk to you about understanding the gravity, the power of the gravity of you. Unseen and set. Thank you for coming in. And if you don't say word, if you don't express emotions, if you not doing it, inside of you is the energy, and energy is turning into a gravity, and the things that you didn't heal, the things that it hiding, the things that's what it is, there are actually within the space. That is the gravity, and whatever you do, the gravity speaks louder within you. The people will feel the gravity, so is the next generation. The next generations, that is your kids, that is the people you talk to, the younger generations from within. And when you understand just this basic thing, you will understand the why. Because when you walking unhealed around and you have these energies exchanges, even if you don't realize it, or the gravity within the young generations, they feel what happens. They maybe not be aware of the current moment. They may be not awakened of the current situations, but inside of them, there's going to be a memory of that gravity from within you. You remember gravitations that probably happened with the generations before you. Usually, you're getting that from older people. Hi, Natalia. Thank you for coming in. You are getting energy from parents or relatives and so on, that you remember what they did, what they react in a certain situations, what did they hide between the veil, and now you are awakened, you going back and you see things from within you. You are remembering because of the gravity is magnetic field. You need to understand how this works. Within the air, within the core, for it, within the universe, it's something that's called ferro oxide, which is that is the most massive chemical element in the universe. Ferro oxide has one thing, very, very powerful. Ferro oxide, it is creating and keeping memories from within. But within the connections with oxygen, which is life, the oxidation process within this begins more and more and more, like just adding more memory and more memory until that memory vanish within the thin air. And that's why the rusty metals who have a ferro or iron within, when they degrade it, that's what it's happening. But the memory stays within the air, stays within the universe, stays from within. If you remember back in the 80s, there was a ferro oxide audio tapes. You had an audio tape player or cassette player or roll player. That magnetic field was pointed into this little tiny fine line of plastic. There was a ferro oxide in there, and you put signal in there, you recorded a song, and then you played the songs. And that's what this is the memory. But it is in a base of magnetic that goes in, it sends information to the roll, and it's a magnetic that it's read from the head. And this is how this works. It is the same thing within the human beings. It is not any more different than that. And that's how the gravity remembers within your brain, within your memory is stuck in there. And when you're going through a similar situations, similar things, you understand why things happen the way that they happened from within you. I know that the current energies are nuts, and they're getting more intensive. Energies about past life, about past karma, and so on for it. And right now, things are coming to the surface of the subconscious level. Those are the things that weren't said, that wasn't expressed, that wasn't said, but they are within gravity field. And since in the gravity, that's how the solar system works. We are in the gravity field of looking at exactly at these spots from within for the things that wasn't seen, that wasn't said, that was unspoken, that was not finished, that was not complete. But the gravity itself, it is within the universe. It stays there. It's always been there because everything it is belong to the universe in you. So it's time to recognize the people who coming into the chat. Unseen and Set, Natalia, Elizabeth, JCK CPA, Erica, and John. Hey, John, thank you for coming in. Thank you for saying hi from Dubai. So, the reason, in order you to do something, you gotta have why. Otherwise, the how, you may do it the how, but it's gonna be coming is like incomplete. You don't know why you're doing something. And if you don't understand why you're doing, then the process is not. This is like a mechanical job. I was just at spiritual talks there with friends of mine, which is I respect so much for it, and we talk about this for it. I'm still trying to figure it out something that it's on a very high level that is about the work with the universe, but something it's still unclear to me. And I believe that right now, through this period, I'll probably will understand. But what I understand so far within this, it is about that if you don't heal within your energy field, you are passing things around within yourself. We talk about a lot about the family karma, and right now I'm working with few people in the base of the family karma. If we see the family karma, that is the next generation. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for coming in. We begin to see it. So what happens is the one generation sees the problem rising up in the next generations. So they begin to look from within. They found the same issue in the previous generations within them. And when we're talking about this generational healing, the problems could be so many. The problems, there could be a family karma, that could be a personal karma, that could be any kind of like energetic, emotional, psychological, gravitational things. Could be a even we're talking about when it comes to a religion that's coming to you belong to a certain type of um, race in there, and so on and so on. It could be everything, but when you see that the problem is, please do not do not make yourself blind for the problem. I'll tell you why. Because the generations before you, they probably were blind for the issue. They're trying to hide the issue. And if they try to hide the issue, you're probably going to face the same hard issue. And if you hide the issue is going to be passed in the next generation. This is one of the main reasons that has to be your why, not to hide the issues to be passed in the next generations. You need to understand that whatever the generation has is because we passing that through it. The passing maybe not be verbal, the passing maybe not be like situations and so on, but the passing happened within gravity. Because if you don't know something and your next generations is asking you about, you don't know how to respond for it. But if the next generations is asking you about the problem and you become silent because you know what the problem is, they're gonna feel something is wrong. You cannot hide it this from within. That is the time when you have to go ahead and look within the issue. Because from the why, there's gonna come the how. If that is a culture problem, if that is a religion problem, if that is a issues from within, look in that. Don't be blind in there, because that's going to improve you. Then it's going to improve the next generation, and if the generations before you seeing that, it's going to improve their situations, whatever the case might be. In the family situations, there is a lot of things. I mean, you can start it from a lot of abuse, any type, including energetically, psychology, emotional, and so on and so on. That can include to a certain types of repeating mistakes that's passing on. That could be a lot of developed deeply a mental structure that the family has from within. And if it's passing it around, that could turn into a genetic issue. And when it turns to genetic issues, then that is begins a problems, a real problems. But healing is there. You need to understand that for every problem, there is a solution. And looking at within the issue, you can use your soul to seek within the issues for it. Hey, Josh, thank you for coming in and thank you for the super chat for it. Appreciate it. And thank you for the returning the energy. Thank you. Um, you are looking within your soul. Your soul connects to the spirit. And thank you for the love, Josh. And I'm going to share some love for you up here and for everyone up here. Let me give you some lots and lots of love gifts. There we are. There you go. And we're looking at it in the soul. The soul can find the solution. The problem is to zip up the mind from within. And the mind is zipped by you understand your why. The why is very important. It is crucial to understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. So the how it's coming, one way or another. If that is a energy issue, that's mean there is an emotional issue. It's an emotional issue, then what the emotions are, and it's got to be healed from within before the emotional issue it turns to a physical issue out in the real world. So if there is a issue within the physical realm, you look at it how this physical issue become there. Some of the situations there is a family that have a heart issue, then you have a heart issue, but now you see your next generation has the heart issue. What is the issue? Lack of love. So if that's you, your mother or the previous generation didn't get a love. You didn't get a love because your mom never got the love that how she can teach you and give you a love that she doesn't know the love. And you, because you don't know how to love, it was respected, effectively passed into your kids. Now you see it and you're wondering why. Why it is this problem. So now you look at it from within, you look at deeply within the soul. The soul is teaching you how to find the love and develop that love. Because when you begin to be awakened in the soul gives you the love to heal. You put the love in that place, you put the love first as a primary connections from within and allow the love to begin to heal the heart. So all of a sudden, this is I'm talking about from personal perspective. I'm telling you, when I become to be awakened as a twin flame, I learned that love. I got that love. I give that love to my kids, to my daughters. They understood I was everything that they needed at that time. But the spiritual love that they received from me, they weren't ready to understand. But I told them anyway, because I know that over the time, when the time comes in, they become an awakening from within, they will understand that love. Maybe not at the moment, but over the time, they will understand that love from within. That is how you heal. You spoke the truth about the problem, about the situations, about the energy issue, the emotional issue, and you help them to understand it. Today, gonna be getting and understand. You have to be aware of this. They might not gonna be. They're not gonna be, but the gravitations and the memory of this, there will be within them. And when that kicks in, that when they will fully understand what do you mean about it. Okay. So now, since you don't understand this issue, all of a sudden you're going to see like a similar situation comes in with from in the previous generation. That comes in and they look at it. Why are you doing this? What is that? How did you change? What did you change? Why you're so different? What happened in there? And that answer is what? I awaken my soul and I stop disagreeing with my soul. I stop getting and listen to everybody else. I'm listening to my own soul and I work with the universe within my soul. That's how you heal. The universe can help you to heal everything. Sometimes some of the things for it is more complicated. Even though right now I'm going through a complicated solving issues personally, okay? But we're talking about the people that I've been working at, and I seen it. I seen the results. I seen the results that some of the people begin to understand the whole process of passing. And you can pass love or you can pass pain. And as we see it, because your parents or their grandparents, they haven't received the love. Then your parents didn't receive the love. Then you didn't receive the love. Now your kids, and you're seeing why, for example, or certain culture situations, certain situations that comes in, all of a sudden you see this underdevelopment. That underdevelopment, it is what shows you on what part you need to grow from within. And when you find that underdevelopment, guess what? You finding your inner child from within. Why do you healing the inner child? Because the inner child didn't learn what he needs to be learned. It learned something that it's missing. And saying it's missing, you looking at for that missing piece from within you all your life. But now, when the issue rising within your kids shows up that issue, it rise up. Now you disconnect. Basically, what the disconnect is, you disconnect within this generational situations. You disconnect from the family and you develop yourself. You cannot heal in the same environment. You have to understand this process. You can't heal in the same place you were wounded because you have the fear of wounding unless you actually a totally wounded that you only decide to stay there. That's like you're staying within your own hell. But if you're willing to heal, you need to understand there is a time for change. You get off of this and you begin to work on your self development. Your self development will begin to rise and grow with the things that you didn't learn. And when you rise and grow, when the things that you grow within, you heal and you fill up the gaps of the things that you need to fill that up, then you're ready to pass in the next generations from within and see the results within this generations later on in life. But you have to be aware of they may do it, they may not. That it depends of are they going to do. And it's depending also on the quality of that you are going to do. The quality is crucial because the quality of the truth is going to be vibrating within the truth from within them. If they comes in and they ask you, why did I have problem? Why I'm like this? What is this all within me? And guess what? You know the answer. You're the same way. But you didn't say it. You know what's the right way to do it. But you don't say it, then is the problem. But you know what the problem is. You tell them, you know what, you're this like this because that's how it is. We have this, I have this, and the parents have this, and I'm willing to do with this, and we're going to work together to solve this. Okay? Why? Because the next generations, they want to know how to heal, why to heal. They want answers. They want answers from who? From you. Because they are linked to you. The same way the next generations is linked to you, the same way you're linked to the previous generations of you. But when you remove yourself out, you're breaking the chain, the energy change, the culture change, the religion change, you're breaking that apart. And you begin to develop a new one from within. It all depends of how and what the issue is. Not every issue can be successful. It all depends of the amount of work that you're going to do. People can show you the road, but you have to walk it. You have to walk in that situation. Sometimes it's hard to walk. Even if you are by yourself, it's even hard. But it's all big. How big is your why? From within. It's the same thing what they say in the United States. You can bring the horse to the river, but you cannot make them drink. So your healing, okay, is your responsibility. There could be a things, a luggage that it's passed from grandparents to parents to you, and now you see how heavy is in your kids. You see it. Otherwise, you're blind from within if you don't see it. Yes, and I gotta tell you, some of the people that I worked is incredible progress in there. Okay, is incredible progress. I want to share something. For I won't mention names and situations in there because of the privacy. The mother was very controlling, manipulative, and over the time she developed cancer, and now this cancer it's isn't it within the client there was a cancer, but she begins to work. We work within the issue, we look at it, we disconnect energetically the situations. I help you to understand what that is. I help you to understand that there was the energy of Lilith that was passed from feminine to a feminine and so on. She changed the perspective from point of view of soul. She united the soul from within. She went in, she did test, and all the tests came out negative. I'm not telling you this just so look at who Dio is. I didn't did the job. It's the client who did the job. Okay? But nevertheless, she did one thing. She cut the energy change, the link that's there. You can still have a family link, okay? But I'm talking about the energy link, the luggage that it was, because she went and said that was your problem. You didn't deal with it. I deal with it, and I fixed it. It's up to you if you want to fix it from within. But she also shared it with the next generation. What happened, what it is, and so on. And I actually talk to the next generations as well. That's what healing is. But you gotta have your why. She had a very good why. She wanted to complete herself. She wanted to become the love. She wanted to become everything. And now even the twin flame. What did you do? What happened to you? Healing. The question is are you going to do the work? I mean, I can understand things. I can look at the things and so on and so on and so on. But that doesn't make me. You came in for information that I know I have. I give you the information. I get you all this, but it's not me. It's the universe. If you look at it, to me, it's universe. But you are the one who does the job from within yourself. You are the person, not me. And don't ever go out there without asking for help. You can go find a help for emotional help. You can go for asking for psychology help. You can go ask for emotional energy or even spiritual help. Because the spirit from within is knows what that is. Okay? But look at it, the situations that is in the physical world. They will tell you where the problem is. But if the things are in the physical or that is so bad, how did you get into that positions to be so bad? And you go back tracing, and you're gonna find out what the main reasons, what the situation is, and take a look if you have it with people who are around you. That may be not your family, actually. That could be your friends, friends that you'll grow up. That could be the town that it were, because the town developed a culture that it's like this. You choose to be born in that town, choose to be born in that culture, that country. You're not maybe related to a family, but you choose your family as well. And you're looking at this, and you're going to find out one weird thing. It's connecting with your soul. It's connecting with what you have to do in life. It is something that you always knew. You have to go out there and fix it for your bloodline. And that's how the bloodline comes in. But you also have to fix it, not only for a family bloodline and so on. You have to fix it for the world, because we are all one family in this earth. Because you don't know, maybe your personal example, maybe your personal situations, maybe your the way you did it is going to be someone survival guide and save their life, improve their lineage, improve their family, resolve issues that haven't been resolved for it. And that's what it is. And when you done that, you develop the happiness from within. You develop the energies of love. you develop the inner peace from within. That is the reward, the inner peace. Because the issue is not anymore hidden, the issue is not anymore a problem. Actually, the issue was a blessing in disguise that you actually understood how to turn a problems to love. You become an alchemist. And that's what you have to understand. You are the alchemist of your life. Okay? So, yes, you can see this. You can transform it. Some of the issues are higher. Some of the things, uh, the teacher is just another student on a higher level. You're always learning every day, like every day. I mean, I'm not stopping learning. I'm watching some videos for it. Today, I was looking at for long lasting. I was watching a psychology video for long lasting procrastinations. What it is, what was the reason for it? We're not talking about procrastinating for things. We're talking about that when there is an issue, today I'm not going to deal, tomorrow I'm not going to deal, and then past a long time, period of time, we're talking about 6 months or more. And the guy was explaining in there what was the background issues of this, what is the situations, lack of a lot of things that were actually hitting underneath the surface for. So now you guys can ask some questions. Let's discuss this. But I want to tell you guys, you're here for a reason. Why you're here? Why you're watching this video? That video probably addressed it to you. Find that reason. Go dive within that reason. But don't just dive with little bit, little bit, little bit. No. Just tear it down and go dive in there without any fear, without anything. That's who you should be, the spiritual warrior from within you. That's what you came here to watch this video, guys. All right. So now, if you guys have so many questions, and I can look at the chat and so on. Also, guys, thinking about what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Another portions of healing that's going to be coming in and work tomorrow. I love my new friend. Kind of like I'm matching the energies here. I don't know. I keep it right in front of me. So, okay. Mm. It must be more difficult for a man to heal of looking weak. Sometimes the damage within the masculine or in the feminine, it's so much that behind closed doors there is a lot of damage. We're talking about the damage with the internal world. For it, maybe that's what you felt, Andrea. But there is no fear of looking weak. The real man admits its weakness, and that is strength. The most powerful, strengthful men, they put their pride in their back pocket. They don't show up anymore. They are truthful from within. This is why I did my spiritual talks today. I went over there to show what there was. I went over there to discussing some issues. And that's not a weakness, guys. Sometimes the feminine looks from their point of view about weaknesses because they don't share what's going on from within. But when they learn to share what is there from within, they become the real woman, not to hide things as Lilith hides from within. So, yes, but it is a purging, John. Yes, it is. And it's good to be purged energies out from within. Andrea, my husband of 20 years only shed 2 or 3 years drops. Ooh, wow. Uh, People who cannot cry, they don't cry for two reasons. They're either damaged to a point beyond imaginations, and they cannot even cry from this, or they can cry because they don't know what that is. They don't know how to be emotional available, or they don't know how to free up their emotions and react. And sometimes I feel sorry for some people like this because that's mean that within them there is a lack of growth with these emotions, and these emotions supposed to develop energies from within them and develop gravitational field from them. But now since they don't have that growth, they don't even know how to express it because they didn't learn. They have nobody to learn it from within during their development for it. So twin flames have to cry because of it releasing. Yes, exactly, John. He was a macho bodybuilder. If you look at it, some of the men who are a bodybuilder over there and so on, they are going to cover up their insecurities by thinking that they're going to be when they're physical and they are the macho man and so on and so on. If you're familiar with martial arts, you will understand it's not the muscle who kills, it is the brain and learning with the things. Yes, muscle is important, the power is important, but in the martial arts, the gravitations is read from the enemy, and through the gravitation read from the enemy, you're predicting their movements. And some people know what I'm talking about here. They know things about that. And when you do that, then the things are completely different. Okay, but we're talking about that some of the men thinks that when they have a big muscle, they can win through their physicality. That shows up a very, very, very immaturity in the man. A lot of immaturity in there. It's okay to build muscle, you're the man. I didn't say that you're wrong, but using your brains is there. It's a whole nother level. And what are you using your muscles for? That's a whole nother thing. Hi, Sasha. Thank you for coming in. To be honest, it's just a stage of journey where crying has to be done now. Yes, a lot of things there in the shadow. It's coming in for everyone, everybody. That doesn't exclude me. I'm looking into my shadow. Actually, I had a message today from my soul connections that she mentions of things that I looked in my shadow from with and May. She told me about the dream that she has about me and my grandfather situations. And yes, I worked on that. Worked on that issue to be solved. She was totally correct in that. Things are coming as a confirmations from within. Um, Maybe he's crying now. He's in prison for sexual crimes. You need to understand that the sexual crimes that is talking about a if you I don't receive what I want, I will take it and I force it. That is talking about that he hasn't received love probably from mother or father and nobody taught him that sexuality is not something, it is about intimacy. And there is gotta be something from messing up the culture. If, for example, he was too spoiled as a young kid, then he's developing a defiance disorder, and that defiance disorder leads to that dangerous masculinity that leads to it doesn't matter, I need to have it, I have to have it, and it's going to be my way. If you don't give it to me, I'll take it by force. And that's what could lead to a lot of situations. You need to look at it to this issue. If you find a kid who defines the orders and they're using anger and they seeking attention, usually that's how it's solved in the younger generations to see it. The defiance order leads to a lot of issues in there. for. Mr. Big Dog is in the house. Yes, Mr. Big Dog. Thank you for being here. Elizabeth, I need to do that. Thank you, dear. Separate from family ties for healing. Yes. Some of you have to, if that is a family issue, okay, you really have to separate from the family. Either life is going to teach you or the situation is going to force you at some point, sometime. You have to recognize the moment and the time. Usually it's a point of time that either make it or break it. Either you're going to make it or you're going to break it from within you, and you're going to be passing the same luggage to the next generations. You have to look within this, what there is. But Elizabeth, I know people who did that. They're very successful from within, and they showing up a very good healing from within, but also healing with the previous generation. So the healing that they see from within you, it's actually affecting you, actually going down line and healing down line. That is another big why. Because the luggage that they pass it to you, the healing that was they were supposed to do it, you did it, and now it's coming to them to tell them how they can heal. And guess what? They maybe have another 10, 20 years of living, but guess what? They're going to live it happily without that luggage. But imagine you don't heal it, they will see the same damage that there was in them. They didn't fix in you, and they're going to see how this damage is passing in the next generation. You getting it? The weight becomes more and more because there is a 3 generations that carrying the same heavy load, unsolved, unhealed things from within. So if you look at it more deeply within this, you'll find everything, though, it is inside of your soul. Everything is within the universe. You ask the universe will give you the informations. You need to understand that's what that is. And that's what sometimes you have to go through this point of black throat. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. The only way is you to look up, look there in the universe. Andrea, hi Elizabeth. When I really started crying 2 years ago, I felt like a 5-year-old child in a room full of adults. It happened to work. Yeah, that probably because when something happened at 5 years old, let's say, like for example, if you, Andrea, that was your partner, and you are so empathic from within that you're feeling the other people's pain and taking like yourself. If you look at it in a 5-year-old, the 5-year-old, that is a developing of the authority from within. Can you imagine someone goes in there and breaks the authority in there and teach them a toxic environment of authority? And they told him, we're not going to be playing with you if you don't go ahead and kick that cat, or you're not going to play with you because you're not that bad to go ahead and hurt this dog, or so on and so on. And from within, and you can understand later on, this toxic energy helps in there in a way that you see from within what needs to be healed, the issue. But it is the damage that it's done. But it's also the problem that rising within the community, that it's actually these things are happening. You're not too cool if you're toxic. You're not too cool if you don't act like this. You are an outsider if you're doing this and this, and so on and so on. And now we've seen in the world where did that came from. It came from a previous generation. That's what it is. We stop passing the good. We start passing the moral. We start passing the normal human behaviors. We start accepting a bad human behavior as normal. And that is we are going to degradations within our culture, But that degradations is also degradations in energy level, in emotional level, and the gravitational level. And now we're seeing these things coming in big time. Be happy, folks. Life goes on, and life live for today. Exactly. Big Doc, thank you for this beautiful, beautiful message. Thank you. Um, Live for today and the future, and the present. It's not good enough. Yes, but your present today is determined from the past that was once a present. And if you're looking for a brighter future, that it's the future from within, you have to look within the present. That's what you need to heal. You're trying to move on forward without healing the past is not. You may try to forget, you may try to cut it off, you may try to break a ties, cut energy cords, cut everything. Cutting doesn't solve the problem if it's not healed. It's going to be actually make it worse. You're trying to cheat yourself that way that the problem is solved. No, it's not. You just put the blindfolders when you cut that. It is like, so on. It's not solved. The energy situation is not solved. The balance is not solved. And that is what things I'm looking at right now, even more deeply from what's going on with all this. Because the universe, when it comes in, it tells you, hey, we invested this time, this energy, this situations, and so on. Things don't happen. Why? Why there is no balance? What are you going to do about it? It's got to be a balance. What are you going to tell the universe? You cut the energy cords, you cut any cords that you can exist, you forgive, you let it go of everything. You got answers, right? No, I don't at this time. I'm working on this, guys. I'm sharing it with you. Okay? Well, hopefully that's going to come in soon. We'll see what that is. It's going to be. But I was looking at today exactly the answer on this question. It will come in as a download. I know that. Digging it very deep within the universe. So, yes. Seen and identified, verbalizing the talks, looping behaviors, changes with love. Yeah, the looping behaviors. Those are unhealed behaviors because you are going the same loop, same circle of hell. Oh, yes. Usually that is a T-squaring within the chart, within people. But where the more T-squares is, the more learning it is in a higher level. It all depends how you're looking at from within the situations. Yes. But thank you, Ancina said. Geos for Dio, great energy. Thank you. Amen. Say for our next generations. Yes. Amen. And that's what the age of Aquarius is coming. Is that rebellion? That rebellion from within, that is this energy that is in the air. But what is the energy in the air, guys? Gravitation, magnetic field. You guys learned one of the top secrets in the world. It is your magnetic field. Through the magnetic field, this universe stays in the sky. Through the magnetic field, the earth circling around the sun, and we have a life because of the sun. Through the magnetic fields, the planets creates a gravitational field that we are evolving. But how many people really get this from within? A very small amount, but you guys are here. I want to say thank you for being here, guys. Yeah, we are going to improve the DNA. Yeah, kick his butt. Okay. Josh, emotional roller coaster, aroused, sad, joyous, grievance, chilled, tired, awake, and every emotions in the space of our. Yeah, we are getting this. And And even today, I got this energies inside of me. There was like a, you breakdancing or something. It's like, woo. So the energies they're going from up sky and to down below and then up in the out in the universe and came back to Earth. You can have all of the above of this. It's beautiful energy, by the way, but too much sometimes, Josh. Yes, but it's a powerful stuff. We agree with you. We don't have love now as we are waking. We know what love is. Put it back to love. What was missing? Exactly, Unseen and said. Exactly. We put the love back in there, and we're looking at for the develop it from within. Very beautifully done it, and that's how you heal. Love heals everything. Love can heal absolutely everything. So yes, Elizabeth, thank you, dear. Oh, you're welcome, Elizabeth. Glad that you're here. Natalia, I was arguing with my friend today. They realize then I realize that is my issue. Actually, a lot of them jealousy, control, and trust. How to learn this toxic stuff now when I'm aware of, but not fully. Oh, Natalia, thank you. Actually, you know what? I appreciate your honesty here. Some of the people they recognize they are toxic from within, but they never coming out and that, and they hiding their toxicity. And guess what? Their toxicity is passing from previous generations because the previous generation says don't say anything about this toxicity because you're gonna embarrass us. So you're hiding the toxicity from within. Now when you see the toxicity with your kids, and your kids is like, Mom, why I'm toxic? What are you gonna tell them? Or Dad, why I'm toxic? Why is this issue from within? Yeah, but I want to admire your courage. First of all, I want to say thank you personally for this. And here is what and how to heal this. Okay, first of all, why you're jealous? You probably developed the jealousy as a child because other kids had something that you didn't have. So now you have to learn that you can't have everything underneath the sun. And if you see, for example, that they are happy and you're not happy, you can also be jealous because you never been happy as a kid. But now, when you understand what the issues are or the control, why do you want to control? Because other controlling you, and you learned only control. You never learned love in there. But if you replace the jealousy with love, it's going to help you. If you're replacing all these toxic situations as a control, you understand the divine is in control, not you. And you allow the divine that comes in inside of you. And you take it easy, you to be a more calm down from within you. You to understand you have no rights to control other person. Your ego, your demons from within you wants to control over the other person so they can be your slave from within. So they can do what you want them to do. That is the lower vibrational mentality in there. And when you look at it in this, you understand about the untrust. That is it, because you don't trust other people. How would you trust it in yourself? And you don't trust yourself that you can heal this. So the only way you can do this is number one thing. I would suggest you to go ahead, get a piece of paper, and I spoke about this before. Take it a little piece of paper, and right here in the middle, you put in my negative and my positive sides. Look at what your negative sides are, work on it each issue, and once it's fixed and healed, put it in this side and finish that list. Make it this as a bucket wish list from within you. This is how you make a contract to yourself, you to have better what can come in within your life for it. And And now that you say, I'm aware but not fully, uh, I was spoken about this, halfway blind, because either probably your parents or someone within your life or your bloodline, they were halfway blind to it, and that got passed into you. Why? Because of we cannot talk about this stuff. We cannot talk about these issues, and we just let it slide. We're gonna cut the corners out, and that's how we live. That is a learning to live with the pain, learning to be unhappy, learning to not be in the full happiness from within. So take a look the relationship between your mother and your father. If they have unhappy life, if they didn't have all these situations, if they were all focused on work or they try to control you, manipulate you, you will find the answers that you need to look in there and change this. That's what this is. Because the problems you have from within, those are going to be a blessing under disguise of problems to your next generation. If you have kids, that's what you're going to be looking for. But arguing with a friend is very interesting to know. What did you argue about it? Yeah. Diamond B, thank you for coming into the chat. Hopefully you're doing great. Hopefully you and the baby are all good. CC, thank you for coming. For it, present and very late, watch Rey become a Skywalker today. Topic idea, how to stay and grow in strength of the Force. Ooh, it's part of the destiny, something you cannot escape. Within the movie, actually, Rey had to find who she was truly. She was from within. She looked for the master. That's what it was, Skywalker. But Skywalker was afraid. Skywalker was thinking about the failure of training Rey because he had a previous failure with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, that is the son of Han Solo and Leia. And Rey learned something. She was born by the force of two Jedis, one from the dark side and one from the light. She was naturally born a Jedi. Can you imagine a twin flames, which is the one has the darkness, one has the light from within, and they have a daughter. And that daughter is Rey. What the force in the universe is going to be in her. That is the future generations. Because when the light and the dark understood and they become one, that is the path of creation. But that is a mystic forces behind all this. Mystic forces from the universe. It's very good that you watch that. Very powerful. You need to understand that the Star Wars, it's coming from the Stoicism, a very mysterious and way of the philosophy that it stays behind and beyond, but also includes a lot of Sufism. Those are one of the ancients' understanding back in the days that unfortunately we're not using it in practice these days. How many Jedi's there here? Not many. And we're talking about force. Most of the people don't appreciate the force from within. They don't appreciate the universe from within. And when the universe comes in and asks you for answers, how you want to proceed in certain situations, you're like, why did the universe ask me in the first place? The universe has to know more than I do. Like, you begin to question yourself. But that is a part of growth beyond that I haven't seen. So probably something I need to grow more from within me. We need something positive, don't we? The positiveness Guys, the positiveness for it. You have to be positive of what you going through the crap. You have to be positive when you create something. You have to be happy when you create something. You have to be positive in this unpositive world. And people sometimes they are like, dear, where did you get this positiveness? Where did you get this positive? I'm not always positive. I'm balanced. And that balance helps me to understand the issues that leads to eliminations. That's what it was. That's what happened to me in the past 10 months. I'm still looking from the issues in the past. I'm still looking from a family karma. I'm still looking at and understand things. And I'm still working on involvement. It's a lot of inner work I do, guys. Behind all this computer here, behind everything that you guys see. Throughout the years, I've done enormous amount of inner work that I'm sharing it with you. Why? Why the heck I will do that for? The next generations to be healed. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. But it's not only me. You guys seen it from what you. I seen it that it's not only me who does that. I see the results of happiness of people who does that. That even put me more and more to look in there, more and more to discuss it in there, more and more to do things in there. That's what we're here. Actually, the force is us. CC. The force is within us. I will suggest you to look. Yoda wanted his side to look after they burn the wood, the tree, and Luke wanted to kill all the knowledge, all the books that were there to burn it. And Yoda knew they weren't there. Ray took them. Self-learning, right? Downloads. If you cannot get a knowledge, you find a way. The force will tell you. The universe will tell you. For. And of course, everyone who's been watching the movies, they want to use the force to manipulate, to control, or to move and use the force as they fit. But as you guys know, the force requires incredibly amount of self-discipline, power, emotional control. That is a whole another level, not the human based. Because if you using the human base within the force, it's gonna lead nothing but destruction from it. And that's what the narcissism was explained into the movie. That a grandfather wanted to destroy his granddaughter. That's what Ray is. But Ray didn't realize that she was the bloodline of the cities of Lord Sidious. And guess what? When she found out, yeah. But what? When she was in her weakest moment, she reached out to the universe. And what did she say? Be with me, to all the Jedi's. And they all came in and gave her the force. And actually, through her, the force killed Sidious. She didn't did it. The force did it through her. But only a few people understand that. Yeah, we can talk about whatever you guys wanted to. If the room is okay without CC, we can talk about it. I have no problems, no issues within this. And I love that movie because behind that movie, there is a wisdom. There is a huge wisdom in there. Wisdom that has been all along with our existence. Question is, why did we not get this wisdom from the previous generations before us? That's what made me a twin flame. If you watch some of my earliest videos and why I started this channel, you will understand. I started this channel because of there was no information of what twin flames are, what the proper relationship should be. I understood the value that the damage was from previous generation that was done, and I understand what the damage will be for the next generation. That's why I started this channel. That was the main reason. So if the room wants to discuss that, CC, I'm okay with it. All right. Erica, have a good one. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Go have a happy afternoon. Seriously, though, the Wizard of Oz. If you guys look at it, a lot of stories. Doesn't matter, Wizard of War, of Oz, Monster Inc., or Star Wars, or In Your Eyes, or any of the movies out there. It doesn't really matter. It is about the wisdom behind it. So, yeah, it's the wisdom that we learn. Wisdom of the balance. And what Rhea actually did and achieved, that was the balance of the force from within. The balance between the good and the bad, the balance of the dark and the light. And she became the illuminated one from within. But who helped her? That was a Kylo Ren. Both together, they had the life force in them. And the Emperor was trying to suck it up. That's the energy vampires. The Emperor sucked up that energy from her and him. And what? He become rejuvenated. And some of the people, they seeking that energy that is within us. They want that energy from within us, just so they can be rejuvenated instead of be the force. It's a lot of things in these movies. A lot of things. If you've been watching Divergent, for example, in there you will understand the five main religions and the people who don't believe. And you will understand what divergence is. You have to take the wisdom of all those five main religions. Oh, Andrea, you should watch it. I really, for you, probably the Divergent series is going to be very good in there. Very good in there. It's a beautiful movies in there. It's talking about manipulations beyond control, but it's also talking about a will, incredible will and love in there. All right, guys. I'm going to have some of my smoke, and whatever you guys decide, that's what we're going to heal tomorrow. We're going to talking about healing something. Whatever you guys need to feel like healing. Divergent, yes. Most people don't know what divergency is. Divergency actually shows up. Those are two things. They have no end. That could be a two or more things that has no end for it. No fraction, yeah. Actually, divergent, it's a fraction on its own. If you look at it deeply within the movie. Fractionless, those are the people who don't believe in this. They lost the belief within themselves. That's what it in the movies shows up fractionless and talk about in there. So all the fractions that were there, they're talking about how we're looking at of our subselves. You need to understand that from within you, there is a lot of archetype called subself. There is a the warrior, there is a the lover, there is a the mother, the father, subselves in there, and all leading is that you're developing each subself that you're working on, but they're showing up in the astrology. You guys, that's how it's all attached in astropsychology. There. Can we heal the feeling of giving up? I think that was pretty much similar to what we talked about CC yesterday when we talk about giving up the will of life, will to live. It's going to be a lot of for. Today's better than yesterday. Yeah. Uh-huh. For. If you're talking about Natalia, maybe childhood trauma. That is pretty good. Healing the childhood trauma. Yes, that's good. That's pretty good. You need it, indeed. It's really needed. Childhood trauma needed. Yes. And I can give you in there within the childhood how I healed the childhood situations from within me, even though I posted in the videos from before. That sounds pretty good. If the one wants to go through the childhood trauma and they want to go with you, Natalia, I'll go for it. You guys know I'm trying to stay neutral within this unless there is something from within that needs to be. For very beautiful energy currently at the moment. Feel good. Andrea, 100%. Okay. Well, it's better than yesterday's the energy JCK CPI because of we went through this initial shock of the energy last night. That energy that was shocked us, most of us in there. I knew what the energy will be, and I'm like, I don't want to be part of it. I took a pill and I just knocked myself out. You think I escaped that? No, I did. Early in the morning, it was the same energy. Whatever the energy was at midnight was the 7 o'clock in the morning. It was the same energy. There was only one difference in there. Okay, so one difference situation. It wasn't Leo that was in the ascendant. It was the Scorpio that was in the ascendant at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, yeah, right. It's the same energy, just a little different twist. Seen it from a different perspective, but actually helped me through the day to understand things better. So everything was for a reason, but yeah, sometimes I don't want to participate in collective energies because of too much. When I know it's too much for me, I'm taking it. So you guys agree we're going to be talking about the Natalia situations? Childhood. What is the difference about childhood trauma and adult trauma? The adults can create a trauma on purpose. Childhood trauma is because of unknowing. and learning. The adult trauma is done in awareness. The childhood trauma is not done with an awareness. But healing the childhood trauma can help you to not to create an adult trauma. Okay, and if you look at it within the psychology situations, adults who hurt other people, they choose that. Kids hurting others because of unknowing what the pain is, and through that they learn the pain. So if you have a childhood trauma that was done from adults, maybe they didn't know what it was. Maybe they're what it's called immature grown up. Person could be at 30, 40, 50 years old, but they still a child from within. They have one maturity in their psychology and in their psychic level to understand the trauma they cause. And they can cause a trauma as an adult. But still, that is a childhood trauma that has not been processed in there. It's like people are mentally frozen time for it. So, an adult trauma can be linked to childhood trauma, but not necessarily for. But the childhood trauma from within, once it's healed, it helps you to grow and heal the inner child wounds as an adult from within you, while the adult trauma causing on purpose in there from within, then is the problem with an adult for it. So there is a lot of difference within there. When somebody hurts you on purpose, they understood they're hurting you on purpose. When somebody hurts you because of not knowing, that is whole different. That's why when you're talking with kids and tell them, you know what, you hurt this person, go excuse them, go give them a hug. That is the proper way to do it. When one child hurts another, you as a parent take the responsibility. It all depends what it's in the family, by the way. You need to understand this. The family gravitates in the family, but the growth of each individual within the family can be different because of what is the energy. That's why you should never separate different actions towards kids from within the family, especially if the one of the parents choose someone over someone within the family. That should be a big time no. Big time no. That is a childhood trauma, but now the person does it as an adult. She have no excuse. So that's all. Yeah. On CNN said how to process. In order about the how to process energies in there, you have to dig in with. It's kind of like the 2 minutes rule. Feel the energies. Take a minute and look at it. Take time to process it, because you can process the energies from your mind, and within your mind you'll figure it out the action based for it. Okay, or you can use the soul and you create totally different actions. That's what you need that 2 minute rule for. It all depends of how you're going to process the intense energies. The best thing is when you have the inner peace. The inner peace is going to tell you what the process of these intense energies will be. So, yeah. Andrea, should I post this publicly or I will leave it alone? Because I can hide this, I can understand this, but this is a private thanks for it. And Andrea, should I go forward with that message that you put in? Let me know. So, yeah. How to deal with having to grow up living with the pain of trauma. How to deal. I don't know. Okay. I will leave it alone for right now because it's got a lot of energy of paint in there underneath the surface of that. And I'm just going to hide it. Okay. Andrea? So, hey, Milton, how are you? Thank you for coming. How to deal. It is different to how to deal than how to heal, unseen and said for it. Um, because to deal with having to grow up living with the pain, that means you are making decisions to live with the pain. So if you live with the pain, you're going to pass it to the next generations. They're going to learn how to live with the pain instead of deal with the pain. And how to deal with the pain is not running away from it for. And that's what we are talking about today. You not to be blind. It's tied up to a healing in there. Because if you blind yourself for the pain, if you blind yourself for the issue, if you blind yourself, you are putting shadow on you. We're here to uncover the shadow for it. That is a part of growing up. And that's what you're going to need: strength, courage, dignity for the truth, in the name of the truth, in the name of healing, in the name of love, in the name of better future, not only for next generations, but in generations after. Because you see the damage of generations before us, generations 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago. We would have been in that mess if the generations thousands of years ago, they haven't done their inner work. We could have been a much more advanced race. We could have been much more advanced race. That's what the ages are telling us. That's what this is. We are right now see the impact on the humanity from wars. The huge impact that we see right now is from the World War II. Because after the war, everyone focused on having things, rebuild things, specifically in Europe I'm talking about. Europe was destroyed. You have to go in there and heal and putting things to work. And guess what? The grandparents said, we didn't have anything. We had to start build from the scratch. We had to do this. So focus on not building, but focus on someone who has things. So guess what? That's how they trained the kids back there. They were born in the 50s, 60s. And guess what? This parents in the 50s and the 60s, guess what? They told you the same thing. And guess what? You marry for someone who has this, who's developed this, and so on. And guess what? You found out that wasn't love. Where was the love in there? It wasn't. It wasn't love. Why you are a twin flame right now? Why did the twin flames comes in? Why all this energy of the twin flames comes in? Right? You're getting it, right? Evaluations, things. But if you go back in there, that after every war that was made in there, after every disaster, there was an impact in there. There was a renaissance. There was a culture development after this. But we have to understand not to start wars. We have to prevent never ever again to have wars. Because the wars are the wars from within. And when we solve the war from within, we're going to solve the war within the world. There's a lot of impacts are through this, guys. Same like the Jedi's. The Jedi's, they're not going out there and do the things. They're peacemakers. But they were in war within them, with the Sith, with the dark side. They still in the war. But when Rey finished the things and made it a balance, there was no any more war. Yes, exactly, Milton. Milton knows me for a long time, and she knows the things, and I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to see you here, Milton. I'm glad. So yes, for it. All right, guys. I think that healing childhood trauma that is going to be pretty good because that has a with the topics that we're talking about healing. Okay, not dealing but healing for it. Very well. That's what we have this talks unseen and said. Discover the shadow. Let her come to the light. That's what we're here for. Discover the shadow from within. Okay? Discover the shadow from within. All right, guys. I think that will be it for tonight. Oh yeah, especially November 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. Yes. November 11, 11, 11. Guys, so you know from right now, on 11/11, there's going to be a special workshop for Twin Flames. And it's going to be here, and I'm probably going to be starting late in the afternoon, talking about probably, right now it's 6:30 in the afternoon, probably talking about 8 p.m. here. So there will be no live chat, but there's going to be a workshop that we are going to do and celebrating the Twin Flames. I'm inviting all of you here and so on. You can share your story, you can enjoy, you can share the love, and we allowed that message on 11/11 to comes out to everybody out there. We'll share the love. How about that? 11/11. It is our holiday. And I think that we should make a petition. I don't know where, but in the universe, this should be our official holiday. And if you're a Twin Flame, you too. Maybe I can go ahead and make some shirts, and it says Happy Twin Flame Day. And on the back, 11/11. Just an idea. Put it out to the universe and maybe happens. All right, guys. So let's share the love and the light and the inner peace. And we're going to come back tomorrow. Healing childhood. That is important. Healing is good. Right now is a healing time. And let's stick to the healing, guys. I love you so much. You guys be love. Be in the inner peace. And let's heal this world. Okay? All right. The workshop, Andrea, is going to be here at the YouTube, and there is no need to be signed up for. Doesn't need it for it. Okay, I've been done this for a few years, usually, and November 11, I love to do our workshops. around my birthday, I love to do my workshops. This is how I give gift to myself by giving gift to others. I give to myself. I honoring what I am aware of what I am, and that leads me to do all this, guys. Doing what I'm supposed to do. I even got that confirmations quite a few times, and I love it because that's the way it should be. Okay. All right, guys. Be love. Yeah, the shorts is a good idea. I'll agree. Totally agree. Here's some gifts for you. Be love, be peace, guys.